Today we're going to take a look from the cheapest to expensive PS5 accessories. I know there are many expensive items, but I have selected everything that you cannot live without and the wallet-friendly items. So today's task is spend as little as possible and see how these supplements actually work, as well as whether they are worth buying. I will show the prices on the screen, so let's start with the cheapest mod. So you know that the PlayStation logo on the side of the console is black, so you can change its color with one of the stickers, which is probably my cheapest and most genius cheap accessory, at only $2 per sticker. It's a great little change that we have to make. We remove the cover, pulling the top corner down at the same time and pulling out at the bottom. You'll see this great little cutout of the PlayStation logo. You can choose any color for this place. I want the retro PS1 logo again. It looks amazing. Now we have to reattach the panels, and instead of the standard black logo, now we have this cool retro logo that pops through the corner. And of course, it will work on any official covers that have a cutout on the side. It's such a cheap and easy addition to your PlayStation 5 that it can completely change its look. This year Sony released a lot of interesting colors of Dualsense remotes like never before, but the strangest thing is that the middle part of all of them is black. I know that disassembling remote controls is more difficult than ever before, but it turns out that one part is easily replaceable. I want to change the black remote control, give a new color, so this box will help us out. After unpacking you get the faceplate itself and the unhooker. The funny thing is that the price is €1 more than PS5 mini sticker. The easiest way to disassemble and not to break the controller is to start from the bottom edge and then from the middle, so easily our favorite PS5 controller gets a new color. Personally, I'm missing something, but we'll get to the second modification later in this video. So I'm sure you've heard of PS5 covers. Any of these official colors can be substituted. However, there are many cheaper options for changing the external image of PS5 if you don't want to spend $55. Because I really like white covers and the middle black bar of the PS5 looks cheap and likes to leave marks. After going to AliExpress, I chose the cheapest sticker for a middle part tattoo. So this is probably the cheapest thing you can buy to change the look of your console. After unpacking we can see the front top and the bottom sticker. I would advise you to clean it with a degreaser before sticking on the console to avoid any marks. To wrap the console is best to start with the middle sticker, as it will be easiest to match the connection holes. Sticking it is quite easy as the material is a bit stretchy and it took few minutes to finish. It really doesn't look bad. The only problem I think could have been to make the middle and the top decals one piece and not have that line at the transition to the top. Looking a bit further, the PlayStation really keeps the look of the original. Now the middle black bar will have a texture and maybe save you some money to think about that look. Well, now let's get back to the modified remote control, which is really missing something. And now, all you soldiers, strain your ears. These are Control Freak analog amplifiers. This piece of plastic really helps and is mostly used in first-person shooters like Call of Duty. There are two colors in the set, but I personally sometimes use only one because one lifts so much that you barely feel the controller. The very principle of use is that everything feels more accurate and gripped with the rubber, and the price was about $10 to $20. In my opinion, the best modification is especially for owners of the monitors or those whose TVs are not smart, introducing the official PlayStation remote control. So you can control our PS5 as a media player with this remote, feels high quality like other official PS5 accessories, so we need to put two standard batteries to wake it up, then to connect we turn on the console, go to settings, accessories, and straight away you can see media remote. After holding these two buttons, the remote control is automatically connected. It has all the functions required for a smart remote such as stop, start, rewind, mute, and increase the volume. And the most likely and effective function is the well-known streaming channels at the bottom, such as Netflix, YouTube, Disney+, and Spotify. As an official PlayStation product, it is one of the cheapest available, costing from $25 to $30. Next, we have a mini PlayStation 5. Well, it looks similar, but it's charging station for the controllers. Another question, is this dual charging dock powered? Yes, well, this is probably the best way to charge your controllers. This is an official product that costs $30, which maintains the best quality and is not expensive. I paid for this product because the quality guidelines should always be followed when it comes to the charging to maintain the longest life of the remotes. So inside the box we have the charging cable and the dock itself. Similar to PS5, it has a white and black color palette and its similar minimalistic design. You can charge two controllers at the same time, and I like that you don't need to put any strange adapters on the controller to charge it, which you often have to do with the cheaper docks that have a Type-C connector. Here it would be the same as just charging via cable. Just usually the Dualsense remote control is placed on the magnet. When the yellow line starts to flash, it starts charging. I've never personally had to charge the Dualsense while living with this dock. You take it out, play it, finish it, put it back again. PlayStation recently announced that they will be releasing a V2 version of the controller with a better battery. The price is not yet known, but with the charging station you don't have to think about V2 version anymore. Since you stayed until the end, now I will show you a slightly more expensive, but in my opinion the best mod that I purchased. But before that, comment which modification you like the most, I'm really interested. I recently faced a problem where I installed the Call of Duty and NBA and it takes so much space. To be honest, I almost gave up, but once it's installed, you probably won't need to delete your games. So I wanted to get an internal SSD, so I went with the Samsung. It's also not a good idea to buy a drive that isn't fast enough or isn't compatible. Now though 1TB and 2TB drives are technically better for the money, we can add up to 8TB. So the console itself has 825GB and by default we get 667GB. I have a Samsung NVMe M2 fast SSD next to me. Why I chose this one I will tell you later. To install this, all you have to do is gently remove the PS5 cover from the side of the disc reader, twist this little screw and the metal cover and you're ready to install a new SSD. The truth is that according to the manufacturer, the SSD must be equipped with a heatsink, so you can choose an already installed factory heatsink, the price of which is significantly more expensive, or you can buy one from the third parties, which cost only $4 and it will support the same function. Now we have to move the gasket, slide the SSD, screw it and attach the new cover that houses the heatsink. This is such an amazing design. Now we have to reset the cover and we will turn it back on. Now when you turn it on for the first time, you will need to format the drive. It is also possible to test the speed of the powerful SSD. This latest Samsung SSD drive reads faster than the factory PS5 drive. And you wonder if this will affect performance modes? Well, as far as I observed, it has an influence on the loading of the game, but only for a few milliseconds. We just added an extra 1TB in a few minutes. As for this price, it costs the same as buying 2 PS5 games or 3 games if you buy the factory heatsink. And the question is why I bought this particular SSD? Because it's NVMe M2 fastest reader and you can not only store your games but also play with them on the stored SSD, which you cannot do it on the cheap SSD models. Anyway guys, this is all for now. Let me know in the comments what mods did I miss, and if we hit 100 likes, I will make second episode about PS5 products. I personally enjoyed installing SSD and I think it's a top-notch mod, and also I cannot forget the Dualsense charging dock. I think it's very functional and great looking design, sitting next to the PS5. Guys, I love comments, so write one and see you soon.